How do you see that? Like, I know you have a lot of prompting and stuff, but what are a couple of quick tips that you might want to give here for people using ChatGPT and inputting it?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Like garbage in, garbage out. And if your outputs are like the responses that you're getting are too generic, chances are you didn't give it enough information in the beginning. Um, the prompt structure that I use is pretty much uh, it's act as. So then you insert whatever role you want it to take on, ghostwriter, award winning, sales copywriter, whatever it is. Give it like an expert role. So act as a expert role, and then give it like the overview of like what you're gonna do, right? Like the goal. So act as a expert copywriter. You're going to create a LinkedIn post, and then that's after you give it like the overview or like the goal. That's when you share all of your step by step information, all of
Mm.
your kind of like your rules, your guidelines. So then, for example, that's where you would say the post is going to be about X, Y, and Z. Make sure that it includes X, Y, and Z. It sounds like this. It's in this tone. If you want, you can also include an example. Like this is an example of a good post. This is an example of a bad post. Pay attention to the formatting, stuff like that. And then you would just end it with like limitations, right? Like don't
Hmm.
do. Here's what you can't do, and like all the things it can't do and it can do, like the rules essentially, and then after that just the formatting. How do you want the output in markdown and bullet points, whatever it is. So instead of just saying, write me a LinkedIn post about puppies, you're writing a little something a little bit more in depth. So it's like giving a creative brief. Like if you go to a VA, like a virtual assistant, right, and you're like, hey, create me a logo, and you don't give it any information, they're just gonna come up with like all these designs, and then you're gonna think most of them are trash because you didn't give them any input. But if you talk to ChatGPT in that same lane, right, of like, here's my creative brief, go have fun with it. Excuse me, go have fun with it, and then you don't have to pay them hourly, right? that's like that's what ChatGPT can do.
Yeah, I love it. Thank you so much for sharing that. I think that a lot of people are going to find value out of that. But very interesting because just going back again is it's most of it is free, right? And the biggest package is $20 a month on a personal level, 25 yearly, monthly paid by an annual for teams, and 30 if you pay monthly. So it's not even expensive for the things that it does. You know.
Yeah, it's not. But it's interesting because even if you just get the $20 a month version, right? Even if you just stay on ChatGPT 4, it's really interesting how many people don't want to pay that $20.
It's crazy. It's crazy. People are still complaining. We see posts on LinkedIn that says, "Don't pay $20 for chat. There's free alternatives," and those free alternatives, most of them are crap. I'm sorry, but
Yeah.
and it's like the hooks, right? Everybody on LinkedIn needs a hook, so they're like, "ChatGPT is crap." And when I read that post, I'm like, "It's not crap," And I even joke sometimes. I'm like, if OpenAI would ban anyone that said ChatGPT is crap, it would be very interesting. Nobody else would say that again.
That would be interesting, but yeah, I mean, I just think people don't know how to use it, and the second that they learn, they realize, oh wow, it's more than just, um, whatever it is that they're doing.
Yeah, yeah. Somebody said, don't pay $20 or something, and then it was a hook, obviously. Then I said, I'll pay $200, and because the value of it is even more, right?
Absolutely.
Especially when you use it right, like you do, like I do. I spend 3-4 hours a day on it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really impactful. Like from all the excuse me, from all the activities, if you were to do the math, for example, if it's doing my consultant type of work where it's consulting me, that's at least like anywhere from like $1,000 to $5,000 a month saved, right? Then you're looking at if it's helping me write my LinkedIn posts.
Hmm.
Even if you work with a ghostwriter, you're still gonna have to edit it. Like it's not like the ghostwriter sends you a final version and you're like, all right, let's go with it, right? So you're still gonna fix it to sound like you. So ghostwriter is gonna cost you anywhere from like $3,000 plus. There's people that charge like $10,000 a month for that. So $20 in comparison to like the activities, the high value, high impact activities that I'm having it do is pennies. It makes total sense to just invest the $20 a month.
You're calculating all that, but at the end of the day, even if you gave feedback to that ghostwriter, right? That ghostwriter is not going to be able to implement that feedback for the next post. But now, with I think the ChatGPT memory, I don't know if you have access to it. I don't have it access yet. If you
I
have
think we
access,
all have access now with ChatGPT 4.
No, so memory, the memory that is going to be across the whole workspace, and then it's going to
Oh yeah, I
start.
don't have that yet.
Yeah, because I saw my wife's doctor has it, and he didn't know he was on the free version. I said, "Yeah, pay. It's amazing." He paid for it, and then he showed me. I was like, "How do you have memory? I've been in it like so long." And he has memory, and memory is it's a new feature. They're still beta testing with a few users, where it would learn if you say, "I don't like it when you say this," and it just puts it in its memory all the time. So across your whole workspace, it'll know all the things you like and you don't like.
That's
And then the
amazing.
memory is also coming per GPT. So the GPTs, as more you use those custom GPTs, the more they're going to learn from the task it's done. So if the quality is 80% now and you have to edit 20%, it's going to be 90, 95, hopefully close to 99, and maybe even 100 one day.
Wow, that's amazing.